questions here. If you can please use the raise hand function. If you open the participants window, you should have the option at the bottom to raise your hand. Questions for Coach. First one, Sean Fagan, Arizona Daily Wildcat.
Thanks for being here, Coach. Congratulations. A lot of firsts for your team this year. If I could first start off with that Big East title. I'm just wondering, what did it mean to you to win that title with this group of players that you have?
It was awesome. It was one of the greatest feelings, better than I even expected it. Again, being a COVID year, just being happy to be out here, being able to play, and then winning in the way that they won. It was just so cool. I was just so proud of everything that they've been through and what they've done, and to come out with a championship with this team. And the culture that they have was just really special.
And then the stellar play that you had in the championship game probably was what led to your first NCAA bid into the tournament. So I'm just wondering, was it at all sort of a bit like overwhelming in a good way, knowing that won your first Big East title and then going to your first tournament as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I really do. I think I just kind of sat back and kind of watched them take over, and just, again, seeing their faces and their joy, and even able to see the videos afterwards, and just how much passion every single person on the team had. And they all bought in, and they were just so excited about being, like you said, history of the program, your first Big East title. Now you're going to the NCAA tournament. We only had one player that's ever been here before. So I think all of this newness to them is just super exciting. And then obviously to be out here at the University of Arizona and just kind of taking in all the sites and the facilities, it's just really cool opportunity. And I'm so lucky that, to be here to coach them, and also these girls to have this experience is really awesome.
And then last question for you, Coach. As I was looking up lots of statistics about the players, your page, I was blown away by how just like a generational talent that she is, with not only as a hitter but as a pitcher. I'm just wondering, could you speak a little bit just about like how great of a player she is and like what she contributes to your team?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Paige is Paige. You guys get a chance to talk to her in a minute here, and she's just incredible. I mean, her work ethic, I can't say enough about what she does, on and off the field. But she's the type of kid. I always say all the accolades she gets are so well deserved because of the time and effort she puts in. She's willing to do what other people really aren't. Is coming early, staying late, and as you said, being a pitcher and a hitter. She's got to find time to get all the pitching in, get all her hitting in. She plays defense, so she'll play first base, she'll play outfield, so she's doing infield, outfield, pitching, hitting, and really kind of does it all for us. And on top of that, obviously being a student athlete and being a great teammate and a role model and a leader. I mean, she really is one of those kids that you don't really have a chance to coach to in a lifetime, and I've been lucky enough to have her for a lot of years, and she's coming back next year. So it's super exciting.
Next up, Mike Jensen.
Is this program ahead of schedule, on schedule from when you took over?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to say that, it's on schedule. I mean, I think I took the job, kind of thinking we're going to win right away. But that's kind of my mentality. I didn't know that it was going to happen this fast, honestly. But I definitely think, right when we took over in the 19th season, our team was really talented and driven, and they just needed that extra push. They needed that confidence. They really needed to believe in themselves. And I think, after the 2020 season getting cut short, this season we started off kind of shaky with the COVID and not really having a fall season, and then bringing it all together. And throughout this whole season so far, you've really seen the maturity and the growth, and just this team coming together and just having each other's back. Like I said, for me, it's just so much fun to kind of sit back this last couple months, just watch them do their thing, especially at the Big East tournament, and kind of sat back, watch them take over. Our senior leadership was just huge. They all had pivotal points in that game, big plays, big hits, and they were picking each other up left and right. I think that's when we kind of knew, like, hey, we got a chance to win this thing, because they're really in it for the right reasons, and they weren't going to take a loss.
Home runs, is that a philosophical thing? Were Fordham players hitting home runs, or
Yeah,
it seems like a smart thing to teach,
all
obviously.
Goes to all the credit's going to go to our hitting coach, Gabby Ludi, who played for me at Fordham. Then she was my assistant at Fordham, and she came with me here over to Villanova as our hitting coach, and that's what she does. I mean, she's awesome with creating these hitters, and she works them individually, and it definitely is a philosophy. We're big on, elevating the ball, hitting it out of the park. We're not into ground balls. We're not really fast, so it doesn't work great for us. So anything that leaves the yard is really good, and I think they work at it. And the same thing, the girls work really hard to have their power numbers up there.
And last thing, a Paige question. With your Binghamton roots, how early did you start to hear her name, and did you first recruit her to Fordham as a position player?
Yeah, so we've known Paige since she was about 10 years old. She used to come to our Fordham games. We have pictures of her in her Fordham gear and her visor, and she was probably 9 or 10 years old. She was good friends with Gabby Ludi, my assistant coach, who played at the time. So she was actually coming to watch Gabby Ludi play at Fordham. And then obviously the time goes by, and then, we're looking 5, 6 years later, we're recruiting her to be a player at Fordham. And again, we were recruiting her to pitch, to hit, to kind of do it all. No idea that she was going to be as good as she is. Obviously, she just had a great freshman year there, transferred over with us here, and has just dominated ever since. But yeah, she's been kind of with us for the long run. She's like family to us.
Thank you.
Eric Lopez, go ahead.
Coach, good to talk to you again. How does it feel to lead your alma mater to the NCAA tournament? That was the big reason why you left Fordham to come to Villanova, because it's your alma mater. How does it feel to finally, take your alma mater to the NCAA tournament? Any more special because of that?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I think it's great. I mean, I think I've said it before, coming back home, technically, my husband went to Villanova, I went to Villanova, we come back here, and to even the coach before me, Maria DiBernardi, which just has a huge impact on my life. And they were all so proud of us and they were so excited. And that was obviously it was great to win, but then to come home and to have them all supporting us and texting us and emailing us, and the pride we saw in them at selection show, they all came out from, our baseball coaches to our basketball coaches to our field hockey. They were all so proud of us, representing Villanova. So it meant so much more to me that it meant a lot to the community. And obviously me being part of it, the girls that I played with back in the 90s were so excited. We had a couple of them actually drive out to Yukon to be there live for the game. So for them to do that, I think was cool. We have a bunch of them coming out here to Arizona to support us. So I think they're just super proud and ready for us to get after it.
Jay Wright give you any wisdom, any words there?
Yeah, the one thing he called us right after, he's been following us. He was up at Mohegan Sun, obviously he's getting inducted to the Hall of Fame, and he's watching softball. So it was pretty cool. But he said to me, every contender, every champion was always a contender. So it was kind of cool. Like he's been rooting for us, and I think he saw it coming. He's been out to some games. So it's been awesome to have him following the team. And obviously been great to us to look up to Hall of Fame coach and his program, his team. So I think it's great for us to have that.
Big East tournament, you had to come out of the losers bracket in dramatic way to win that Big East championship and get that automatic bid. Is that something that could help your team here this weekend? Because this program hasn't been to the NCAA tournament. They haven't tasted that pressure of postseason. Does that give you confidence for these players and help you here for these regionals?
I think so. I really do. I mean, I would have loved to just win 1-1-1 and not have to go through all that. But after it's said and done, I do believe that it'll help us a little bit. I think the girls, they battled through it. They had the adversity and they got knocked down. They had to get back up. But I really feel like we got knocked down a bunch of times when we were out there, and we kept coming back. So I think that will help them coming into this, knowing that, hey, you know what? We're not done yet and we can keep playing. And they got a lot of grit and determination. And I think we have an uphill battle right now, but I think that they'll be ready for it. They're a little tired, a little sore, but they're excited. And I think they're really psyched to be here.
You get the 3 seed. The thoughts on that? Was that what you kind of reaction there when you got the 3 seed? And of course, you get Ole Miss. What stands out about Ole Miss?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to you about it, and you called it early. You called it first. You're ahead of the game there, Eric. But so I had a little heads up from some of you guys, knowing that we might be a 3 seed, which is great. Obviously, coming in, you'd much rather play the 2 and the 3 than have to go out here and face Arizona day one out on their home field with their home fans. So I think that's definitely helped us to be the 2 and the 3 as opposed to a 4. And also, it's pride in our program that, hey, it's our first time getting here, and we also came in and we're shot at possibly, even if we didn't win the tournament, we might have had an at-large. Like, we played well, we had a good RPI, we played good throughout the season. That was a lot of our girls, that was their first time watching a selection show, so it was pretty cool for me. I'm like, you guys have seen this, you've done this, and they're like, no, we've never watched. They haven't done it before, other than Paige, and a few of the other ones have. But so for them, a lot of this is their first, like, do a selection show first, championship first, regional first. So it's pretty cool, and it's just awesome to be part of it.
And then Ole Miss, your thoughts on them playing here and what stands out about Coach Trax on her team?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with them, they got the depth, they got pitchers, they're going to be able to throw a bunch of different looks at us. Obviously, being in the SEC, we're able to watch a lot of their games on TV. So we were able to watch them a lot. They played UConn, who was in our conference, obviously. So we're able to get a little bit from them that was helpful. And we're just going to have to play a little softball, play hard. My hope is don't get too high, get too low, and just come out, ready to get after it. But obviously, they're going to be, anybody that's here is going to be one of the best teams in the country, but especially coming out of the SEC and the grueling schedule that they play day in and day out. We're just going to have to match that.
Ryan Kellepier, you're up.
There's going to be 100% fan capacity at this regional. I'm just curious how exciting that is for you and your players.
It's awesome. I don't think they know it yet. I don't think they know how big it's going to be, but I remember one of my first regionals as a coach. We were out at Oregon and it was like the field was like shaking. There were so many people and it was just such a cool experience. And I just can't wait for our girls. Hopefully they don't get overwhelmed by it, but I think they're going to love it. Like I said, they haven't experienced this. They haven't played this type of ball in this type of stadium with these type of fans. And I think for them and even for the fans to kind of see them play is going to be huge. And when they opened that up, I think it was yesterday, I think everybody's really excited. We do have a good group of people coming here with us that obviously we're coming across the country, but a few California girls, so they got their families going to come in. We have a bunch of alumni coming in that are West Coast. So I'm excited about it.
How does Hillenbrand Stadium compare to a lot of the venues that you've played in?
It's so nice. We haven't practiced in it yet. Our practice time is coming up here next. But we came out here a few years ago with my previous team before it was actually renovated, and it was gorgeous then. So I'm excited to see the renovations, and I just know it's going to be first class. Obviously, Hall of Fame coach, Hall of Fame program. I mean, a lot of these girls. I know I grew up kind of watching Arizona, so it's just awesome to be here.
So at the same time, what's it like to coach? You might have to coach against Mike Andrea. What do you think about that?
I'm excited about it. We're all about opportunities here. We talked to the team about it. This is an opportunity. This is an advantage. And so for me, just to be on the same field with him, be able to coach a game next to him is just for me a great opportunity. And we look at it as a huge thing for our program.
All right. Any other questions for Coach? All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.